Hallo allemaal, ik ben het LightFeather. Last video people asked me to make a video about me talking Dutch or teaching you a bit about the Dutch language and its annoyances. And people wanted this so badly that I decided to do that. So first off, the normal kinds of things that people say are hello, which is obviously hello, and some other words that are kind of the same, but those aren't really interesting. It's about the interesting things. First off, a thing that English-speaking people often have trouble with is the way we pronounce the letter G. Because in English it's kind of a G sound, but in Dutch it's H. Basically the sound you make when you're choking or when you don't agree with someone, like it's basically in the back of your throat. If you want to say it, basically just pretend like you're choking on something, like. And the alphabet. The alphabet is exactly the same in order of letters and what letters we use, obviously, but everything is just pronounced differently. I'll be going over it for just really quickly. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. But there are some things that people who try to learn Dutch really struggle with. For example, the way we pronounce double numbers. For example, take the number 24. Instead of saying 24, we basically say 4 and 20. So we say the last number first, which is very illogical. So basically 4 and 20, 5 and 20, 6 and 20, 2 and 30, stuff like that. Which is really weird, but also very annoying to me, because when I switch to English and then back to Dutch, I sometimes mess them up. So when I try to say 28, I sometimes say 82 in Dutch, because I keep switching everything around. So yeah, whoops. Also interesting about Dutch is there are some really strange expressions. There are some very strange expressions in English as well, but some in Dutch are very weird. An example is, I'm going to be popping a little owl, like an owl as in the bird, which means that you're going to take a nap. The second one is literally translated, make that the cat wise, which basically means try to fool somebody else into believing that. But it sounds really weird, so basically just try to convince the cat. That's basically what we're saying. Another one is being unable to see the forest because of the trees, which basically means, I think it means that everything is so clouded that there's a lot of work, and I have absolutely no idea what that means. An interesting thing when you compare Dutch to English is that there are some words that are swear words in the other language that are perfectly normal words in the first language. For example, the word cut, as in to cut, as in cutting. When you take the word cut and you replace a C with a K, in Dutch this is a swear word. Which is kind of annoying, because when you work with immature people on film sets and you yell like, cut! Everybody's like Something that is also incredibly annoying about Dutch is the DT rule. If there is a vowel that ends with a D, then there are some occasions where it suddenly becomes a DT, and those rules are kind of unclear to me still. And a lot of people struggle with this, and I still struggle with this as well. Because at some point it just becomes, automatically you do it correctly, but at some point you just forget it, and then you have grammar issues throughout the thing you were writing, which is super annoying. Because you don't pronounce the word differently at all, it's just the way you're writing. And basically your versus your in English, that's the thing in Dutch, but people often forget that, including me actually. However, there are also some words that sound exactly there are also some loan words or words that sound exactly the same in Dutch as they do in English. For example, upload, printer, bank, gras, chocolade. Okay, actually you pronounce it pretty differently, but it's pretty much the same word, and I think you would understand if I were to say it to you. Another thing about Dutch is that there are a lot of dialects, which is something I hate, because I hate dialects. I'm like, just speak the same thing and it's done. But there are a lot of dialects. However, I am really bad at dialects, but I am trying to mimic them for you. Okay, so probably the most known one is Frisian. However, this has actually been declared an extra language. And if they hear me say it's a dialect, they're probably gonna wait for me in a dark alley and stab me, because they're like pretty chauvinistic. But yeah, I'm going to try to mimic that. Ja, en dan gaan we naar de squallen. Dat moet ik even naar I fail at this. Actually, that sounded pretty much nothing like it actually sounds like. Another one in the north of the Netherlands is groanings. Groans. I don't know how to translate that. Which is basically like really farmer-like. I'm a little better at that one. Hey, wat zit je nou al te doen, Daniel? Okay, that was actually terrible as well. Also interesting, in a part of Belgium they also speak Dutch. However, this sounds vastly different than the Dutch we speak in the Netherlands. And I believe I'm kind of able to mimic that accent, but probably not. Okay, so if I were to say something in Dutch, like, hoe gaat het met je? Ja, heel goed. Then in Belgium they would probably pronounce it as, and please don't hate me if I'm wrong, so I'm not trying to mock you or anything. Hey, hoe gaat het met u? Ja, heel goed. I'm pretty sure that was terrible. Oh, and by the way, als je van deze video geniet, klik dan op leuk en op abonneren. I hate it to say that in Dutch. Hey, and if you're wondering what other Dutch people sound like, I'll just ask my mom a question. Hey mom, ben ik de coolste persoon ter wereld?
Nee.
She said yes. But you know, there are just a couple of phrases that you have to know when you go to the Netherlands. Which is hallo, which means hello. Tot ziens, which means goodbye, or basically I'll see you again. Dankjewel, which means thank you. And the most polite thing you can ever say to someone who is Dutch is ik duw graag aardappelen in mijn neus. This is something that is incredibly polite to say to someone, and people will probably reply to you with this facial expression. And that's just because they are so surprised that you are so incredibly polite by saying that. So one more time, just when you meet a Dutch person, just say to them, ik duw graag aardappelen in mijn neus. Thank you so much for watching this video. It has been requested a lot of times, so I hope I didn't disappoint. What languages do you speak and what are some annoyances in your languages? Please let me know in the comments because I love to read those interesting facts about other things and the things you have to say to me. And if you're new here, I would love to have you subscribe. I post getting to know each other a little bit better videos or stories like this on Saturday, and on Wednesday I post sketches or cinematics. Also, in case you didn't know, I'm currently streaming on Periscope right over there on my phone, behind the scenes, so if you think it's interesting to see me record like live, you can follow me on Periscope by looking for LightFeather. But above all, thank you so much for watching. Just like I said, just be unique, you're awesome the way you are.